people drew up this fight. They really thought
With 22 knockouts and an almost perfect finish rate of 95%, he hasn't just defeated his opponents, he's destroyed them. This is the most feared boxer from Puerto Rico. This is Subriel, the pride of Untitled Matías. He was even the cause of a tragedy inside the ring.
Undefeated Dadashev is in a tough spot.
Max, I'm gonna stop it. Max, you're getting hit too much.
But to understand what motivates him, you have to go back to where it all began. Subriel Matías was born on March 31st, 1992, and grew up in Maternilo, a poor coastal fishing community in Fajardo, on the east coast of Puerto Rico. It was the kind of neighborhood where the streets consumed the youth. Matías was raised by his mother, his grandmother Viviana, and a father figure named Julio de Jesus. At 12 years old, the boxer discovered boxing thanks to his idol, Felix Trinidad, the Puerto Rican Hall of Fame champion, who had made an entire island believe that anything was possible. But for a while, the pull of the streets was stronger than that of the gym. On August 10th, 2012, he was shot. He survived. Then, in 2013, he was shot again. He was eventually arrested and served a 19-month prison sentence. It was behind those walls where everything changed. Matías found his faith and made a decision. Boxing was going to be his way out. He came out a changed man and channeled everything he had experienced into the ring. As an amateur, he racked up 80 wins with 22 knockouts before turning professional in 2015. Puerto Rico had a new warrior, and now it was time to show it to the world. His knockout streak was impossible to ignore. Word quickly spread about Puerto Rico's most dangerous boxer, and it was only a matter of time before the big opportunity arrived. In December 2016, he faced Jeffrey Fontanes, a boxer who came in with a record of 16 wins, 2 losses, and 12 knockouts. Fontanes didn't make it past the second round. Then came Abraham Peralta in 2017. The same story. Matías delivered devastating body shots that made Peralta collapse to the ground in pain, and that was it. Another knockout. Patrick Lopez was next, a former Olympian with 25 wins and 16 knockouts, and Matías attacked him relentlessly from the start of the fight.
Mexicano. Muy buena combinación ahí. Empezó a soltar la mano también. Muy buena combinación del mexicano. Actúa sobre el dominicano y sigue Matías para evitar ese castigo. Sin embargo, ahora es el boricua que es de truza negra, mientras que el boricua es truza blanca. López.
But in the second round, Lopez's legs gave out and Matías kept unleashing a barrage of punches until the referee had no choice but to step in and save him from further punishment.
Una vez lo combina y está en malas condiciones y va para la lona y se aguanta con la... Y creo que el referí que debe estar bien atento porque esta pelea está llegando a su final y el referí tiene que intervenir.
In 2018, the names were getting more and more important. Adrian Estrella came in with 28 wins and 1 loss, with 24 knockouts, one of the most dangerous men Matías had ever faced. In the 4th round, Matías threw devastating body shots which Estrella couldn't answer. And once again, the referee was forced to step in and save his opponent from more punishment. And then came Breedis Prescott, a former world champion. Matías knocked down the man who knocked out Amir Khan in the 1st round twice in the 3rd round.
Peligroso Subriel
Subriel combinando arriba. Bueno, vamos al segundo asalto. Sale combinando abajo. Muy bien, Subriel. ¡Oh! Buen golpe. Buen golpe. Integrity. Abajo de Costa.
In the 4th round, A devastating uppercut from Matías made Prescott's legs completely collapse. He fell to the ground, and the referee counted him out.
Un opercito corto. Subriel. Oh, ¿qué pasó ahí?
With 11 fights in his career and still undefeated, Matías kept his streak, defeating Saucedo and Lopez, before reaching the most important fight of his life with a record of 13-0. Puerto Rico's new knockout machine was ready for the biggest stage. With a perfect record of 13-0, Matías faced the most important fight of his career, an IBF super lightweight title eliminator. Against the undefeated Russian prospect Maxim Dadashev, the winner would become the mandatory challenger for the world title. Dadashev started well, moving and turning effectively to avoid Matías's pressure, but Matías had a plan. If he couldn't cut off the ring with his feet, he would do it with his body shots.
To get the knockouts or the stoppages by sheer volume, but when you hear these punches...
Thrown 63 jabs, only landing 17. That kind of thinking. Saying you're giving him too many chances.
Out of the 319 punches that Matías landed that night, 112 were to the body, round after round. Those punches wore Dadashev down in the 9th round. It was a war of attrition, and Matías simply had more power.
In Puerto Rico, we asked him about it yesterday. It was top of mind for Matías. He simply turned to us
and getting his hands back, and that's why he's getting counter. He needs to work on that, but I believe...
Number 8. He did make the comment to us yesterday, said this fight will
not really as offensive.
Right now is fighting on fumes right now. He's tired, he's exhausted, he's trying to dig.
In the 11th round, Matías brutalized Dadashev with clean shots to the chin and body. The legendary trainer Buddy McGirt had seen enough by the end of the 11th round. He intervened and stopped the fight despite his boxer's protests.
Oh, another big shot comes in.
He's hurt. He hurt.
He is hurt here at the end of 11. Undefeated Dadashev is in a tough spot. Gets sent back.
Max, I'm gonna stop it. Max, you're getting hit too much. You're getting hit too much, Max. Please, Max, please, let me do this, okay? Okay? Look at me. Please. Come on, you gotta be honest with me, Max. Doc, actually stop it, Doc.
Matías was now the mandatory challenger for the IBF world title. The dream was within reach, but 4 days later the world came to a halt. On July 23, 2019, Maxim Dadashev passed away at the age of 28. He had suffered a severe brain injury and never recovered, leaving behind his wife and young son. When Matías heard the news, his first words were devastating. "I don't want this check." He refused the $75,000 from the fight purse, went home to Fajardo, and isolated himself. For months, no one knew if he would ever be the same again. "No one is prepared to die while chasing their dreams and goals," said Matías in a public statement. "We simply step into the ring thinking about our family's well-being, without knowing how complicated and difficult it is to get into the ring. Fly high, great warrior. Only God knows the reason for things. You will always have my respect. Rest in peace, Maxim Dadashev." 5 months after the tragedy, Matías returned to the ring in his hometown, Fajardo. There was a real fear that the Dadashev tragedy had damaged him mentally, and that was the most dangerous weapon in boxing. His aggressiveness was gone. Those fears lasted about 1 round. In the following rounds, Matías got to work, throwing hard punches without hesitation. In the 5th round, Matías landed several combinations that sent Enis to the canvas. He sat there like a king during the referee's entire count, and the fight was stopped. 15 fights, 15 knockouts. He was back, but a tough setback was coming. Matías came into this fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas as the heavy favorite, 50-1 odds. Ananyan was a competent boxer, but no one gave him any chance against one of the most feared boxers for his knockout power. For several rounds, it was a very intense fight with Matías outlanding Ananyan 211-112 in total punches.
Две ничьих.
Довольно активно начали.
И одним из ключевых моментов для Ананьяна, другой не проигрывал ни разу и выиграл все свои поединки досрочно, ну или, проще говоря, нокаут. Может, именно во второй половине поединка. Вначале нужно пристреляться, понять.
Вполне достойно Петрос держится, старается минимизировать ущерб, получаемый
соперника. И многие соперники именно старались от него убегать. Однозначно можно сказать одно. Поединок для судей будет сложным.
But in the 7th round, Ananyan landed a right hand so strong that it hit Matías squarely, and the referee ruled it a knockdown. That one moment changed everything.
Сразу Матиас как будто потряс его. Петрос. Еще раз попал.
Мощный оверх.
Это нокдаун, потому что от падения Матиаса...
Two judges scored it 95-94 in favor of Ananyan, and the third 96-93. A defeat by unanimous decision. The undefeated record was gone, and the mandatory title shot was in jeopardy. And Matías had to find a way to recover from the biggest defeat of his career. 8 months later, Matías came back with something to prove. Defeat by unanimous decision. Malik Hawkins came in undefeated with a record of 18-0 and 11 knockouts. He was not an easy opponent, but Matías was relentless from the very beginning.
Yeah, was the most important thing in this fight for, well, Matías lands 2 years.
Oh, down all the time. When he walks in, he's got the hands down. So
storming out and again unloading here on Hawkins. Hawkins with a high guard manages a short
round against the ropes by Ananyan, but you know, he's winning the round. It's another question. It's a close round.
Yeah, Hawkins told us that.
Like he's hurt. I mean, he's a hard-hitting puncher. You know.
Matías just tagged him up.
In the 5th round, Hawkins suffered a knee injury, and the ringside doctor was already assessing the damage to his face. In the 6th round, Matías landed a couple of left hooks that sent Hawkins to his knees.
And his people drew up this fight. They really thought the pressure...
Oh, and Hawkins...
The doctor intervened before the 7th round began and stopped it. All 3 judges had Matías winning 59-54 at the time of the stoppage.
It's all over. Sorry, Malik.
The fight has been stopped. Subriel Matías...
The knockout machine was back, and the world title was still within his reach, an IBF super lightweight title eliminator. Jukenbaev was undefeated. He was a southpaw and dangerous. He came out strong in the early rounds, landing right hooks and uppercuts that demanded all of Matías's attention.
One has the ability to be a great performance by and I give him credit because by Jukenbaev, as Matías comes forward, he's trying to demonstrate that he is the stronger of the two, the way that he is physically. There's a right hook upstairs.
But in the 4th round, Matías landed a strong left hook that sent Jukenbaev to the canvas for the first time in his career. Jukenbaev showed his courage and fought back, even managing to stun Matías later in the same round. But from that moment on, Matías increased his pressure and began to significantly outclass him with 234 punches to 134 in total.
By Matías. Matías is trying to wear down Jukenbaev. There's a left hook and down!
By the end of the 8th round, Jukenbaev's eyes were so swollen that he couldn't open them, and his corner threw in the towel to save him from the ruthless brutality.
He has had over the course of his professional career, it's none other than Nonito Donaire. And now they are stopping the fight!
Matías had earned his ticket to the world title fight once again. Now it was time to settle some unfinished business first. Ananyan had handed him his only defeat 2 years earlier, but now Matías was coming back sharper, more patient, and with a clear game plan. He worked the body throughout the entire fight, wearing Ananyan down with strong inside punches.
that first fight. I talked about the left hook, but he's got a good right hand to this. Jab in his face, and guess what? He's got to reset. And Ananyan here in round number 4, despite the fact that Ananyan is still very busy. Yes, they are catching shots. Against Antango, but yeah, the Virginia fight said that, yeah. But going back to this fight, Ananyan in the first fight as well, and that's starting to get there. So a subtle shift going on here. The pace, and I believe face it also. And now we have a point deducted to Matías. So it's going to be up to Matías to kind of shift it.
In the final seconds of the 9th round, Matías landed a left hook that knocked Ananyan down to the canvas. Ananyan beat the count, but the ringside doctor advised the referee to stop the fight before the 10th round began. After witnessing the damage already done, the redemption was complete and total. And now, after years of waiting, disappointment, and tragedy, the IBF World title was finally his. The fight took place at the Armory in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the vacant IBF Super Lightweight World title. On one side, Subriel Matías, a man who had gone through tragedies, disappointments, and losses to get there. On the other side, Jeremias Ponce, undefeated with 30 wins and 0 losses with 20 knockouts, who absolutely refused to make it easy. Ponce came out like a man possessed, throwing 96 punches in the first round and outlanding Matías 28-11.
Al between Matías.
A bit too long, too much.
Wow. Wow is right. So much. We talked about power shots, and we talk about Ponce. As Jeremias Ponce.
His lone defeat, which he avenged against.
Together in this second round, he's landing some nice shots. So he.
But Matías adapted, closing the distance, smothering Ponce's attack, and starting to land short, powerful punches on the inside. The strategic body shots were causing enormous damage.
86 punches around Ponce, 75
uppercuts, hooks.
Prime, he's 26 years old. I mean, he's in the toughest fight, having double, triple jabs, and he kind of threw off Matías.
Try to close the show.
And let's not forget that Matías has been
lost to Petros Ananyan, who he avenged in his last fights.
At the end of the 4th round, Matías landed a powerful left hand that did a lot of damage to Ponce.
Stopping him in a beautiful left hook upstairs by Matías. Now Matías unloading on Ponce.
He came out in the 5th round, landing 47% of his power punches. And then he closed the show with a devastating left hand to the body, which knocked Ponce down to the canvas for the 2nd time in his career.
Is here battling not only on even terms, maybe doing a little better.
Matías has Ponce staggered!
Ponce beat the count, but his corner had to stop the fight before the 6th round. Subriel Matías has just won the IBF Super Lightweight World Championship. The kid from Maternillo is now a world champion. His first mandatory defense was against the undefeated Uzbek Shojajon Ergachev, a knockout specialist, at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. Ergachev started well in the early rounds, landing right hands and precise left hooks.
He was held to 38 punches in that round.
But here in round 1, tasting up to 3 of 9 for the defending champ.
In position to throw it.
Yeah, you can't be too straight.
There's an uppercut. Yeah. And the left. Sharp jab from.
But Matías found his rhythm in the 3rd round, hurting Ergachev with left uppercuts and body shots. From that moment on, the punishment was relentless.
Emotionally ready. Since then, he's been unstoppable.
Again, looking to take advantage of the career-long layoff. Upstairs and goes back to the well, and there's a combination.
Main event have something very much in common. You might discourage them for a little while.
In rounds 4 and 5, Matías landed 71 power punches and trapped Ergachev against the ropes with no way to escape.
Matías teeing off on Ergachev in the corner. Ergachev has never been down.
Wow, talk about overwhelming a technical fighter. Where's the range? Where's the footwork from?
Ergachev 100th punch of the round.
Okay.
35 uppercuts if he keeps that up.
He's just not used to this type of pressure.
Ergachev did not come out for the 6th round. His corner claimed a leg injury, but everyone watching knew that Matías had defeated him long before. 5 consecutive opponents quit on their stools. The IBF title stayed in Puerto Rico. Then came the fight that no one saw coming, right in front of his own fans, in Puerto Rico. Matías put his IBF title on the line against the Australian challenger Liam Parro, going into the fight as a clear 7-1 favorite. Parro used his southpaw stance and his movement to neutralize all the punches that Matías threw at him. He racked up points from the outside, stayed disciplined, and refused to get into the kind of fight where Matías is most dangerous.
And ambush him with power, but right now he's getting with other great fights in the past. And I look at Subriel Matías and it reminds me of a Puerto Rican Kelly Pat.
But again, you're just waiting for those boxing aficionados. We're still waiting for the animal. He's not looking for a knockout. He's just looking to talk about a deflating moment for Parro. From Manatee, Puerto Rico.
12 rounds of intense fighting and 3 judges. Scores of 115 to 112, 115 to 112, and 116 to 111. All for Parro.
Sergio, are you agreeing with that? Is Parro found where we are in Puerto Rico. Matías.
I talk about the hometown curse all the time, guys.
Good. And the news. He's done it! Do you believe it? Champion of the world.
For the second time in his career, Matías had been outperformed and had lost on the scorecards. The IBF title had slipped away, and once again, he had to find a way to come back home. In Bayamón, Puerto Rico, Matías needed a convincing performance. Ramirez came out aggressive in the first round and put him in trouble for a few moments, but in the second round, Matías hit him to the body, with the precision that has ended so many careers, but Ramirez was relentless.
Wow, it surprised me because I thought that Subriel
Matías leads in almost every offensive category.
Patience. That's the jab. He's making
a sweeping right hand from airy moments for Subriel Matías.
Once again, Matías landed a strong body shot, which forced Ramirez to go down on one knee. Moments later, another combination. He knocked him down for the second time. And this time, Ramirez stayed on his knees while the referee counted to 10.
Matías cranking up the tempo here in round 2. Matías just not stopping. Sinks into the midsection of Ramirez. Ramirez trying to breathe his way through it. The body shots. Matías.
With the TKO victory, Matías returned to his winning ways and once again had a chance to fight for the world title. An IBF title eliminator in his hometown, Fajardo. An opportunity to become the mandatory challenger for the IBF belt, which he once held. From the very beginning, Valenzuela came prepared, which made it intense for Matías.
Goyas is doing that. He's fixing you. He closes it. He's on top of you.
Narrow fight, and this is the volume that we were searching for. Matías.
Amazing what Matías does.
As is allowable in glove boxing. That's something.
Valenzuela was tough and resilient, throwing devastating punches at Matías and forcing him to work hard in every round. But Matías was mistaken. But Matías was on another level, throwing devastating punches at Valenzuela, which forcing the ringside doctor to intervene in rounds 5 and 7. It was due to a severe cut above Valenzuela's eye, but he kept fighting despite everything.
And he does slip and block a few more punches. Now the volume for Matías is less in this round. Whatever few more in this round. I have to say though, he's not getting the bomb. He feels like the way to end this fight is to go after him and make sure it stops.
And every round could be the last.
but Matias kept attacking and became even more ferocious. In the 8th round, a left hook seriously hurt Valenzuela, and a series of punches forced him to go down on one knee. And the referee decided he had seen enough. Now, 22 fights and 22 knockouts, his perfect finishing percentage remained intact, and the world title was once again within his reach. Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York. The WBC Super Lightweight World Championship. For the first time in his career, Matias would have to go the full 12 rounds to win it. Puello used his reach and his southpaw counterattacks to start strong. The early rounds were competitive and close.
That confuses a fighter. One voice only. Tyson Fury had to deal with that. Fighting off the back foot. But already, like you see, taking place on the inside. Let's check in with Chris Mannix, who is scoring this fight, of course, down there.
Yeah, Todd, they were closing in on a deal, everything.
Puello used his reach and his southpaw counterattacks to start strong. The early rounds were competitive and close, but Matias took control in the middle rounds, pressing with volume and relentless bodywork that gradually wore down the champion. However, Puello counterattacked several times, even managing to cut Matias above the eye, which made the night anything but comfortable.
Action with the jab, you know, both of them having their moments on the inside. If someone would just get theirs in on the inside.
The aggressive Matias versus us English speakers say.
Picking you up with uppercuts and body shots.
The final rounds were fierce, with Puello showing resilience to stay competitive on the scorecards. But when the final bell rang, 2 of the 3 judges gave the victory to Matias.
Super lightweight champion of the world, Subriel de Matías.
Majority decision. WBC Super Lightweight World Champion for the first time in 25 professional fights, Matias had won without a knockout. But a win is a win, and he was a 2-time world champion. Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York, his first defense of the WBC title against the mandatory challenger Dalton Smith, who came in undefeated with 18 wins and no losses. Matias was the favorite from the very beginning. The first rounds were very close, with both boxers exchanging heavy punches and establishing their game. Then, Smith landed a powerful right hand that shook Matias.
No need to go toe-to-toe. Well, since he's a slow starter and he's like
start here for Dalton Smith. Looks for another in addition to facing the best
harder shots. Get that leverage.
In the 5th round, Smith had total control and Matias had no strength left in his legs. Smith landed a devastating right hook that sent Matias to the canvas for the first time in his professional career.
That he's going to take. Look at that solid jab. Again.
Right hand again. Subriel Matías is wobbled and he says, come on! Down he goes!
Matias beat the count, but referee Ricky Gonzalez looked at him, saw he was unsteady, and stopped the fight. TKO 5th round. The WBC title had slipped away when he was 33 years old, with a record of 23 wins and 3 losses, and 22 knockouts. Matias has already cemented his legacy as one of the most dangerous boxers Puerto Rico has ever produced. He may have lost the WBC title, but his hunger remains intact. A rematch, a new shot at the title, another chance to reach the top. Whatever comes next, one thing is certain. Subriel Matías is not done yet. From the streets of Maternilo to 2-time world champion. This is a man who refused to let the streets, the bullets, the prison walls, or tragedies define him. He defined himself, one knockout after another,